Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. The Saints are back. All-22 is back, the videos are back, everything's back. And you know, it's honestly, it's kind of surreal, it's kind of crazy. I can't believe football season's back. But we are here. Jameis threw 5 touchdowns. The Saints won 38-3 against the reigning MVP and the NFC's 1 seed last season. So, you know, just like everybody expected. Today we're going to look at all of Jameis's passes from week 1's game, which was 20 of them. He threw 20 passes, he completed 14 of them, 148 yards and 5 touchdowns, so normal stat line obviously. We're going to start it off here. This is the second play of the game. Basic levels concept, he hits Callaway, who's in the slot over here on the left side, field side. And it's like a basic levels concept. That's something that we've seen a lot over the past couple years. So Kamara just runs a basic little like out route from the backfield. Callaway runs the in route over the middle of the field, and then Deontay up here runs a deeper in route. And you're going to see Jameis makes a pretty good throw with anticipation. So you see right here, feels the pressure from the right side from Rams check. He starts to throw right here. He's got Kamara. Drew probably hits Kamara last season. You know, we all saw how that went last year. But Jameis is a bit of a different quarterback. He's going to find Callaway. You see over here, he sees he's going to break over the middle. He tries to lead it past the linebacker. That's what he does and completes it. Big first down, big play to start the game. This play was not a pass, but I didn't think it was a good decision by Jameis. It's just a basic little play action. Bootleg gets Jameis to roll out left. He doesn't have anybody. He has Trotman on the crosser. He's covered. Deontay in the flat, which is, I believe, probably which was designed. And then Callaway, he's double teamed inside and out. So Jameis really has nowhere to go except to run, and he shows off the wheels and he picks up a first down, which his pocket presence and his legs were two of the things that honestly surprised me the most. I did not expect it at all. And I don't think I was prepared to see Michael Vick's cousin on the field, but we did, and he looked really good in both of those areas. So this is once again another play which is not featuring a Jameis pass, just once again a good decision, good pocket presence that I wanted to highlight. You're going to see Deontay Harris move a motion here, the cornerback follows, which is normally a pretty good indication that you're going to get man coverage, and it looks like that's true on this play. But Jameis takes a snap, he gets to the top of his drop here, and Cesar Ruiz, he's getting shedded by number 97. And Jameis really, maybe he hits Trotman, but he's getting pressure. There's no way that he's going to be able to get a good throw off. But what surprises me and everybody else is he somehow avoids that, steps up and takes off, gets a huge gain, and puts the Saints in good position. If you see it here from this angle, it looks even more impressive because you're going to see that he's coming in free right at him off the TT stunt. Caesar gives it up and just makes a miss. That's Kenny Clark too, one of the best in the league. The whole offseason, it felt like we were all kind of hyping up Jameis with the thought in our heads that he's got probably one of, if not the best, offensive play callers to pair with him offensively. Like, for play calling purposes, after a 30 interception season where the scheme just did not fit his, I guess he kind of fit his play style, but did not help him out at all, and just forced a lot of terrible decisions and forced a lot of deep throws that he just should not have made. And I think Sean Payton is like the polar opposite of that. He puts his quarterback in position to succeed, gives them easy, simple throws that they're comfortable making that really almost anybody can do. I mean, right here, it's just a well set up design screen. Trotman's going to sell the block. He's going to come off of it, peel off, and then pick up a nice 7-8 yard gain with 2 blockers and a convoy with him. And you just didn't really see that with Tampa Bay. You didn't see these easy yardage pickups on first downs to put him in 2nd and 2, which you could just do a simple little handoff. And then if you get it, then you get a new set of down. Like, it just wasn't that easy for Tampa Bay in 2019, where it was more just deep shots and kind of boom or bust, whatever happens, and there were no methodical slow drives because of the play calling. And I think with Sean Payton and Bruce Arians, that's the difference between the two. One puts their quarterback in position to succeed, and then the other one does not really play to the strengths of their quarterback. They just use their own system and go from there. So after rattling off a string of about 7 or 8 straight runs, including a run on 3rd and long after a false start, to set up a 4th and 7 for the Saints, they come out in trips left to the field side, and they get a really good look that Sean Payton said he saw on film, and goes back to what I was just saying, putting his players in position to succeed in easy situations. They're going to run a 4th and 7 screen, which is probably one of the few times it's ever happened, and it ends up becoming a 4-by-1 with this motion. And what it does is it gets Devondre Campbell to move over to this left side of the field, and he tries to signal over the 42 to get him, but he's already in the middle of the field. And the design screen is to Juwan Johnson, who's going to sell this block and then come off of it the same way that Trotman did on the previous clip that I showed. And he's going to just have it's a 3-on-1 with Jair Alexander, and he's got to just get around 10 yards from where he catches it. And I mean, that's just easy for him. There's no one around except Jair Alexander, who's going to get blocked by any big offensive lineman is in his way. And it's just a brilliant play design and a really simple pickup on 4th and 7. All Jameis had to do was get it over the hands of that incoming rusher, and he picks up a first down, and that's what they do. One piece of advice that I would give to people who are trying to like get more into football and kind of understand some more like complicated, complex, I guess like play calling stuff like that, or understanding where the ball's going to go or predicting certain things. One, I guess, tip you could take heed is look where open grass is on the field, and typically the ball will go to that area that you're looking at. And in this instance, it's obviously this flat route area over here. And I thought that the play was just going to be either quick bubble screen live, and either quick like little bubble screen or a quick like flat route. And then Ty Montgomery comes in motion over here, and then he comes back across the field, and this guy over here, 39, Shannon Sullivan, has to sprint all the way back, and he's at the goal line right hash while Ty Montgomery's about to catch this ball and just turn up the field with a little blocker. And it's just a really good design that goes to open space, and it's a good solid pickup that gets them to the 5-yard line. It's just really well designed, and you know, it follows with the principle of look at where the open grass is. I was a little surprised that the Saints on this 4th and goal here ended up going with a pass, and I really was kind of sold on the fact that they were going to go with a run, but they did not, and it ends up working because Juwan Johnson does a really nice adjustment to his route. I believe his route is supposed to be a corner route, which would take him over here to this side of the field, but he's obviously covered because 31 is covering 45 out of the backfield, and he's covering this area. So what he does is he sees Jameis there, and he stops over the middle of the field, which is just a really, really good and smart play, because if you're going towards the corner, I mean, Jameis has nowhere to throw the ball. So he gives him this window to the left of Juwan where he's able to throw it up and then make a great play on the ball, because he is taller and bigger than Adrian Amos. And yeah, that's a poster you can see with the celebration. And a really good play at 4th down. Really changed the game, honestly, because he's in the arms of Rashawn Gary, and if he gets tackled there, it's still a 1-possession game, and who knows what happens. This makes it 2 possessions. I mean, that's just a really, really huge play for Jameis Winston and the Saints. This play from Jameis was not exactly the way it was drawn up, I don't think. It's a little play action. It looks like it's a shot play with Deontay running to deep out, and then Callaway over the middle. Kamara in the flat, he gets covered by Campbell, and he ends up making a somewhat dangerous pass to Trotman, not too dangerous. Overall, it ends up getting completed, so you can't really complain. I guess maybe you'd like to see him just throw it away. This is a little bit of a risk because he's getting taken down, but it does get completed, so you can't really fault him for it. The Saints end up getting a new set of downs and then take a false start, so it puts them a little bit behind the chains, which forces Jameis to throw here on this 2nd down. And it's just a little basic kind of like spacing concept with Deontay running a corner route, Kamara running to the flat, and then you have 3 defenders but 2 deep and then one short. So it's just kind of like a 2 route decision for Jameis. Either go to the flat with Kamara or you go to Trotman over the middle based upon whoever this linebacker takes. And he ends up going over to Kamara, so he hits Trotman, gets a solid gain, goes backwards, I'm not really sure why. But yeah, just a pretty simple, well-designed play by Sean Payton. Easy, simple read. That's what we want to see for Jameis here early on, and that's what we did see. So that's good. On this play, Jameis is going to target Kamara in the flat, and it ends up getting underthrown, facing another quarters look, it looks like, from Green Bay, who they ran cover 4 a lot in this game. And the Saints handled it pretty well when they passed, but they did not pass a lot. You got Taysom Hill kind of clearing out Preston Smith going up the sideline. Jameis makes the right read, and he underthrows it. And I've watched this a couple times. I can't really tell if it got tipped or if it's just underthrown. It looks like he might have just underthrown it, which in that case, it's not a very well-placed pass. Maybe somebody got his hands up there, but you really can't tell. Even if Kamara catches this, he's going to get hit right away. So really not the end of the world. Could have been placed better, could have been thrown better, he could have got out of bounds, but it's whatever. You kind of just move on to the next play. On the next play, the Saints end up in 3rd down, and they motion over Chris Hogan to the left, and they end up getting a trips look. And once again, it's just man coverage here, man here, and then man here. And it's kind of unfortunate timing for Jameis as he throws this ball across the middle to Trotman, who does get open as he steps up in the pocket over here to avoid the pressure. But as he's throwing this ball, little Jordan Humphrey ends up getting Jair Alexander, his defender, picked on Chris Hogan, and he breaks open over the middle of the field for what probably would have been a huge gain. But unfortunately, the ball was already out as it was happening, so you can't fault Jameis for this. But he hits Trotman, and it's definitely a catchable ball. It should have been caught. He's short of the sticks, but it gives you a situation where you could consider going for it. I don't think that they would have. They probably still would have punted. But it's just a good pocket presence, solid thrown ball. You can't really complain from Jameis on this play. So Marcus Williams ends up returning an interception all the way down into the red zone and sets up the Saints in great field position. And Jameis' first pass of the series is actually the last pass of the series, and it's a touchdown to Chris Hogan, who funnels into the back of the end zone behind Darnell Savage. And I want you guys to take a look at Darnell Savage to see why he ends up leaving his zone. He's right here where my cursor is, to the left hash, right in the end zone. And Jameis is going to sense the pressure. Andrews Pete gives it up. So he's going to step up here and watch Darnell Savage. He's beginning to move up to get ready to engage on Jameis Winston because he thinks he's going to run. So the threat of Jameis's running ability and his legs actually create this touchdown for him because Chris Hogan funnels in behind him and gets wide open. And you can see Chandon Sullivan, he is just confused. He's like, what happened here? I mean, I'm supposed to have, what's going on? And who would have thought that Jameis's legs ended up being such a huge factor in this game early on and later on, and his pocket presence looks so good in this game, and it really, really helped the Saints out and make that margin of victory even higher than what it was. Once again, the Saints ends up in very, very good field position after another Packers turnover, and this is a a ball that Adam Trotman is going to wish he had back, because Jameis is going to roll out on the bootleg and hit him perfectly, and it just goes right through his hands. Very good design with Taysom Hill in the flat. Pulls that defender down. Callaway brings Jair Alexander up the field, and Trotman just drops it. Unfortunate, because he wouldn't have had a chance to get in there if he gets by Jair Alexander, but missed opportunity there. So the Saints end up in a 3rd and long, which is the situation that you just don't want Jameis to be in, because that's typically when most of his interceptions end up coming, when he's trying to make something out of not a whole lot and forces the ball down the field. So he's going to try to hit Juwan Johnson up the seam, and it just isn't there. Chandon Sullivan is just matching right onto him. It doesn't help that there is a rusher coming in. Looks like he didn't even get touched. He did, but how fast he got in there, it doesn't even look like it. The correct decision there, you just hit Kamara and then live for 4th down because of the sizable lead that you have and how your defense is playing. But he's going to try to force one. That's what Jameis unfortunately does sometimes. and it gets tipped and then picked off. It didn't count because of a roughing the passer that wasn't roughing the passer, so like it didn't go on the stat sheet, but yeah, it should have. You'll see here. However, you can't really fault him for the pressure. The decision's bad, but the pressure, I mean Calvin Thortmund and then Cesar Ruiz just don't do a very good job of picking that up, and then it gets picked off. So that hurts on not the stat sheet, but it does hurt the evaluation of a rather perfect game otherwise. So because of the roughing the passer call, Jameis is going to get a chance for a do-over and a mulligan, and Sean Payton draws up a wonderful play, and Lil Jordan Humphrey and Juwan Johnson do a great job of executing it. So they know at the top of the screen here they're just going to get man and man. So they call a man-beating concept where Lil Jordan Humphrey just runs in. He doesn't run into him, but he gets into the vicinity of Juwan Johnson's defender and just pushes Kevin King into him. Shannon Sullivan, and gets Juwan Johnson wide open. The throw could have been better, but it gets completed. And you can see Juwan Johnson, he's giving the assist. He's pointing right at him. He knows that little Jordan Humphrey created that just as much as him. You would like to see that a little more accurate, but it got caught. It got completed after a roughing the passer call, and you know what? You take those. So as if Jameis Winston had not impressed us all enough, he decided to come out and let this thing fly, and it is the deepest pass thrown by any Saints quarterback since God knows how long. Definitely traveled around 50 yards in the air, so I don't think we've seen this in a while. It's just a basic sail concept. He gets to the top of his drop, and look where he's about to let this thing fly. Talk about trusting your receiver. I mean, Deontay Harris, you know, he doesn't even have the step on him yet. He's just trusting the speed, and he lets this thing go. And Kevin King, I do not think was expecting it. He might have got lulled to sleep by all the runs. I don't know what happened here for him or with Adrian Amos, but this is just a bomb from Jameis Winston. Solid protection. He lets this thing go, leads Deontay right into the end zone. I mean, that is one of the most impressive throws a quarterback can make, and Jameis made that look pretty easy. And that is just the element of the offense that we have not seen in forever, that every Saints fan is just excited to see for the rest of the year. And that will do it for Jameis Winston's first game as a Saint. A 38-3 destruction of the Green Bay Packers, where he threw for 5 touchdowns, 148 yards, and played pretty much perfect football. The best that you can ask for. I mean, you really can't ask for a better performance from Jameis than what he put on the field Sunday. That'll be the end of the video. If you guys have any suggestions or thoughts for what I can do next week, let me know. If you have any other things you want to say about the Saints or the Panthers, Packers, whatever you want to do, let me know in the comments. That's going to do it for this video, though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.